Hello, Fiesty friends. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. This is not a regular Flosstube. It is a Flosstube extra for Needlework Marketplace, which is coming up later this month in August. Well, not this month, it's the last day of July today, but by the time you're all seeing it, it'll probably be August. So we're a month out, basically. Little less, about 3.5 weeks out from Needlework Marketplace, which is an online vendor event, basically, for wholesalers. So all the designers, fabric, floss, dyers, all of those fantastic creative minds will be putting out such new goodies into the universe. So we've got a lot of things to go over, as I'm sure you've noticed on any of your social media, Instagram particularly. There's a lot, and more is getting released every day. Currently, I think I've got down like 25, 26 designers that I've heard from so far, and I know that there's a lot more to come. So first and foremost, my name is Tona. I'm also known as the Fiesty Stitcher on Instagram. I'm the owner of Fiesty Needle, also on Instagram, and we are an online cross-stitch shop based out of the burbs of Minneapolis and here in Minnesota, and hopefully one day the goal of being a brick and mortar store. You might notice I'm in a different location today. I am upstairs in the dining room versus being downstairs in the dungeon. And but life is happening. The dogs are laying next to me. I'm trying not to bump the table. I'm used to standing. So, but with the computer and everything that I need to go over all of the information today, this is where I need to be. So first what I want to do is talk about the 14 designers that are already loaded onto the website. That's fiestyneedle.com, F-I-E-S-T-Y needle.com. And then I have an additional 7 that I have the information on. Sorry about that. Apparently people can't walk by our house without the dogs barking. Anyway, 7 designers that I have received the information on that I have not yet loaded to the website, but those will be up in the next couple of days. And then as I receive emails from other designers, I will continue to add their fantastic creative charts as well. So first, the Stitch Crypt, based right out of here in Minnesota, which is awesome. She's got 6 new charts coming in to us. The first is Grave Snail, and I'll pop these up as I'm talking about them. Grave Snail, I'm not going to go too in depth on each one. Each designer has provided a little bit different information. Some have provided a lot of information. Others have just said this is the chart and this is how much it is and here's a picture and have at it. So Grave Snail, $10. And then we've got Witch Lantern, also $10. And you can see in true Stitch Crypt fashion, many different elements, many different motifs. There's moths in there and ghosts, and she's just so good. And then we get into the Zodiac series. So we've got the Virgo Zodiac, a rethinking of the traditional Zodiac with new animals and a Gothic spin. We've got the Pisces Zodiac, and then we've got Cancer Zodiac. I'm also going to tell you what my favorite is from that designer. So for Stitch Crypt, my favorite is the Hollowed Bee Sampler. The border is great. It's just, the skulls are great. Look at the shading that she's got in those skulls. It's beautiful. Love that. Next is Stitches by Ethel. So Stitches by Ethel has, let's see, 5 new releases. 2 are very similar, and the others, I just really enjoy her range. She's not a one-trick pony. She definitely dabbles in some different things. The first is Halloween Moon. And then we've got joyful Christmas ornaments. Oh, those are just great. This cracks me up. Chicken and waffles. Which is also funny because I'm the general manager at a breakfast restaurant, a breakfast bar. So chicken and waffles and some chickens and donkeys because the donkey's name was Waffle. There's a whole story about the name of this chart that she puts in the chart, which is pretty great. Holiday basket pin keep. And then my favorite for Stitches with Ethel is the Christmas moon. The shading on the cardinal is so pretty. I really like that moon. And you know, both of these moons are the same size. They're only 67 by 80 and a lot of dead space in those charts. So very quick, very doable. All right. Salty Stitcher Designs. Salty Stitcher has 6 new charts coming out. And there's this new, like, this contrast color thing that she's doing that I think is super fun. First is Hibiscus. 60 by 90 on that one. Tahiti, 115 by 90. And again, you're getting that kind of day and night is what the Tahiti one reminds me of. What the beach looks like in the morning and what the beach looks like at night. And then we've got Kitty, Pumpkin Patch for all you pumpkin spice lovers. There you go. There's your pumpkin patch. Surf's Up. And my favorite from Salty Stitcher Designs this release is Puppy. So sweet. He's adorable. He's adogable. I won't say that again. All right, Barefoot Needle Arts. Barefoot Needle Arts has 4 new releases. The first is called A Little Bit. Nope, the first one is Spooky. My apologies. Spooky is actually 2 smalls. So nice, simple. If you're going to a retreat, this is the small you need to stitch because it's got character, yet it's quick. Then we have a little bit of crazy, a little bit of loud, and a whole lot of love. A beachy gingerbread getaway. And then my favorite is a spooky beacon of frights because that moon, the texture in that moon and the coloring in that moon, that's pretty great. I really enjoyed that a lot. A lot. All right, then we've got Annabella's. Annabella's coming out with 14 new releases. Yes, folks, that is correct. 14. 14 given, Annabella's given them housewives a run for their money in how many new charts they put out at once, right? First off, we've got Hello Fall and Fall Flowers. And then we've got Autumn Cottagecore Homestead. I'm loving the turquoises, light blues, contrasting with the oranges in this series. Autumn Cottagecore Scarecrow. He's so cute. Autumn Cottagecore Happy Fall, y'all. Autumn Cottagecore My Stitchy Spot. This one's really sweet. I really enjoy that. And then we've got Basket of Blooms and Home. Cottagecore Halloween, which comes with 6 different charts in it, 6 designs. Gothic Halloween, which has 4 designs in it. And then Happy Halloween and Halloween Alphabet. Stitch Row Harvest. Halloween Village. Come on, computer. Sweet Summertime. There's a little mini with that well, it's not really a mini, it's the motif that's in the chart, but see that little owl off to the side? It looks like he's sleeping on the branch. I think he's so precious. And then Christmas at Home. The last one, which is my favorite, is Every Stitch Tells a Story. It's got the skeins of floss, the needles, the scissors, the pin keep, and it's done in blue, and I really like that color palette on there. I think it's quite nice. Then we've got Cherry Hill Stitchery. Only 2 designs coming out for Cherry Hill. What's nice is one of them is a 2-for deal. So Broom Squad comes with the 2 We Ride at Dawn and 100% That Witch. Those are 104 by 57 and 97 by 54, so very similar in size. $13 on that. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the prices on those other ones. We'll pick that back up. Apologize. Shame on me. And then my favorite is Ember the Flower Witch. The purple in there with color of her hair. I think she's so cute. Very sweet. And that was Cherry Hill Stitchery. Rebel Stitcher, Miss Colleen, with 6 new charts coming out. First and foremost is Jeepers Creepers. The skeleton has lost his head. I think that's great. Well done. Then we've got Spooky Smalls. The Spooky Smalls comes with 2, 4, 7 smalls in it. Looks like that one is 16. Jeepers Creepers is 15. Smell My Feet. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat. That one is 15. Ode to Autumn. It's another $15 chart. And then this one's great. I love this thing. Surviving on Spite and Caffeine. I'm not a big caffeine drinker. I mean, I guess I kind of am. I'm a black tea. Unsweetened black tea is my drink of choice. I would make a terrible Southerner. You all would hate me. I do not like sweet tea. I prefer to eat my sweets instead of drink them. But anyway, that's cute. Surviving on Spite and Caffeine. And my favorite, the last one of Colleen's releases, coming in at $12, is Yikes, with this scaredy cat. More vintagey looking. Check out his tail. I think he's adorable. Really, you can knock that out super fast. The count on it is 143 by 138, but I don't get the vibe that that's super big with all that dead space in there. So $12 and you can have Yikes. Next we've got Samplers and Primitives. Sorry. Samplers and Primitives. Now, if you guys have not checked out Samplers and Primitives before, I kind of fell down a rabbit hole with them a couple months ago because I discovered that they have a ton of Quaker designs, and I am really leaning into the fact that I'm clearly enjoying my Quakers. So they have 7 new charts coming out. First is Santa Family. This one is $20. It's a pretty big one, 134 by 200. That's a big stitch. That's a big one. That's a commitment piece for sure. And then Jolly Santa coming in at 14, 115 by 166. But can we just take a minute and pay close attention to his face and look at the details and the coloring changes in there? That's a good face. Good job. And we've got Noel Band Sampler. That one is $16. Rich Autumn Harvest, $8. No. Helps if I read the right lines. $16. Rich Autumn Harvest, $16. Those pumpkins are great. Even if you didn't want to do the band work on the left there, just stitch the pumpkins with the border, call it a day. You do you, boo. You could take that band work and make a bookmark. Side note, when I was at Barbara's out in Sioux Falls last weekend, one of the ladies and I had gone to the needlework shop, and she's like, oh, I should get a kit and I should do a bookmark. And then she looked at me and she goes, I don't even read books. Every book I read is an ebook. She didn't buy it. I just thought that was funny. I know there's a lot of people out there who read and cross stitch. I am a podcast listener or a Flosstube listener or something like that when I'm stitching. But I can see how having an audiobook playing while stitching would be super productive. I don't think I'll ever pick up a book again and actually read it because I want to be able to stitch. If I'm sitting, I want to be able to stitch. So, I don't know. What do you think? The next one is a floral band sampler. Now this one is a biggin'. She's a big one. 154 by 266. And she's $18. And then we've got the Robin Quaker. And that's coming in at $16. 137 by 165. I really love the blue and gold contrast on that. My favorite is Noel Ornament Sampler because look at those pretty Quakers and the pinks and the greens paired so nicely together, and there's even hearts. Oh, I love it. Sign me up. Take my money. All right, next we've got Counting Puddles. Counting Puddles has 4 new designs. If you've not seen Counting Puddles work before, I do have a good selection of her stuff on the website. I love the black work combination with the cross stitch. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. The first chart she's got here is Ghost Stories. This is $12 for this little guy. And 84 by 93. Reindeer Cheer is also $12. Look at his scarf. He's cute. And Perfect Pirate. Lots of cats and dogs in these releases, I've noticed. And he is $8. 54 by 60. Now my favorite of these releases of the 4 is Patchwork Angel. She's so pretty. And the colors and on that dark fabric, even if you didn't do dark, it would still be beautiful, but I love it. The detail in her wing, it's got a snowflake in there. Just so good. Well done. 94 by 122 and $14. Let's see, we've got... All right, literally when I opened this email and I saw these charts, I was like, these are beautiful. And I have some of this designer's charts in my own personal stash. I have not brought any in to the website yet. Clearly I need to. But this is Yasmin's Made with Love. If you have not explored her charts before, let me tell you, you are missing out. The detail is so beautiful. I swear, I don't think she does anything else but stitch and make cross stitch charts because she just cranks out these charts like crazy. She's a Patreon, all that fun stuff. She's, Yaz has put out 8 new charts for this fall, for end of August, and the first is Gothic Bat. When I was trying to pick my favorite of her designs, I was having a really hard time because I really like them all. The next one is All Hallows Eve. This one actually, if I remember correctly, sometime last year she had like 3 or 4 days that this chart was free, and I was so mad at myself that I missed it. I was meant to go download it and I didn't. but this is a great chart. Obviously it's done in a monochromatic color, and you can pick what you want, right? But so many options with that. And this is a pretty big one, 246 by 146. And this one is right around $22. Gothic Bat is $20. H is for Halloween Duo. She has a lot of other letters. There's 2 letters coming out this fall. So there's the large and small with this chart. And that's going to be $17. Look at that little mini out there, that little small. That's cute, 55 by 55. M is for Mushroom Duo, same philosophy. 102 by 120 on the large, 55 by 53 on the small. And this one is also 17. I love those mushrooms. Hello Autumn. This, I believe, was in one of the color and caulk boxes last year, if I remember correctly. It was in something because it's been released out before, and I know it wasn't her Patreon. So being released to the masses now. 96 by 73, Hello Autumn. And this one is going to be right around $13. I think it's $13.50. I have a hard time mathing when the math doesn't come out to even numbers, like $12 or $12.50. And then I have to think, and thinking is hard. Math is hard, because math is hard. Also, counting is dumb, which I tell myself frequently, especially when I miscount. For someone who can't count very well, I sure have a hobby that makes me challenge that. Whispers of Autumn is 87 by 159. Yeah, the detail in this border and the trees is amazing. It says autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. And this one is $15. Now, that is only 6 because I have 2 that I could not decide between on which was my favorite. So I'm going to put them both up now. I've got Forest Guardian, excuse me, Forest Guardian, this frog, and look at those dragonflies. Oh, they're just perfect. $20 on that. That's 151 by 151. And then Patchwork Pumpkins. I love the colors and the non-consistency of the patterns and the contrast. I think it's great. It's going to be $17.83 by 133. So that wraps up Yasmin's Made with Love. Well done. All right, Artsy Housewife. Gigi's stuff is amazing. Every time she does a release, I'm like, ooh, those BBB borders, the triple B's, big, beautiful borders. I mean, seriously, just amazing. So she's got 7 new charts coming out. The first is Cats and Cocoa, which is very reminiscent of the egg one, the breakfast eggs that she did probably about 1.5 years ago or so. Maybe it was longer than that already. The next one is, oh, I suppose you guys want to have some information, right? Oh, no, I don't have the pricing pulled up on this one. I'm sorry. They weren't put together in the same document, so I apologize about that. But Cats and Cocoa. The next is Cozy. Get a little bit of everything. This one definitely has a BBB, a triple B on that one. And then we've got Hey Birdie. A little, kind of like an in the round, or like it wants to be a biscornu. I wonder if you could make it into a big biscornu. Stitch the the top and then just do a bottom solid piece instead of it being a stitched piece. That would be really cool. They are 115 by 115 on the Hello or Hey Birdie. And then there's right behind it, Hey Pumpkin. Same size. And again, easily could turn that into a biscornu. I love that border around those pumpkins. That's amazing. So the next one is No Net Ensnares Me. I am no bird and no net ensnares me, with a beautiful big border. That's amazing. But my favorite, 77 by 93, is a small bouquet. I am seeing these as Black-Eyed Susans. Perhaps that's not her intention. Maybe it is her intention, but that's what it reminds me of. And we have, it's always been one of my favorites that grows out in the wild, all that good stuff here in Minnesota. It's very native to what we see every day, and I love it. All right. I'm really kicking myself for not bringing my iced tea over here with me because I'd be thirsty. This will be a lot of talking. All right. Praiseworthy Stitches. Praiseworthy Stitches has 5 new releases. The first is Acorn Biscornu. Speaking of biscornus, that one is $12 and very nicely done. I really enjoy that one. Midnight Boo, perfect little small there, $12 as well. I love that basically all of the little Halloween motifs are in there. A Christmas sewing box, $12 on that. And Creepy Friends fob kit, which is $12 as well. I don't know the size on this one. The information for that is on a different document, so I apologize. But my favorite is the Simple Gifts Harvest. It's a Quaker, so obviously it's definitely what I lean into more than any other designs, and it's lovely. All right. This was another one that when I saw the email, I was like, oh my gosh, they're all so good. Flossabilities. There are 5 new releases for Flossabilities, and I'm pretty much excited by all of them. First is this wonderful Wisdom of a Witch. I really went back and forth if this was my favorite or the one I picked was my favorite. This was a very, very, very close second, 100%. Wisdom of a Witch. Love the earth. Follow the phases of the moon. Be spellbinding. Don't worry about a few cobwebs. Love animals. Be a frequent flyer and make magic. I am in love with that one. $15. I don't see that. Why don't I see that? Oh, there it is. 156 by 208. Next is a summer showstopper. I didn't quite understand this pattern at first, so I did have to read the description. It's like reading instructions when I'm putting together stuff from IKEA. Sometimes I just, like, if I can't figure it out on my own, sometimes I give up and dismiss things. So I actually read the instructions. I read the description, and I think it's pretty cool. As British designers, we thought it only fitting to design something quintessentially British, but universally loved. And so here is our design, inspired by the Great British Bake Off, featuring the famous tent and an array of delicious cakes. So there you have it. A summer showstopper is 161 by 216, and $15.50 is what that'll run you. A grand gathering. I mean, talk about a showstopper. A grand gathering. I don't even know how many birds are in this thing, but it's beautiful, and it's colorful, and it's lovely. And she's a biggin. Look at that. Look at that flamingo. my goodness. And the peacock, $275 by $244. Like I said, she is a big one. She's a big one. $275 by $244. $26 is the cost on that. Oh, it's so good. As I was scrolling through this email, I was like, oh my gosh, all of those birds could literally be made into smalls, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, then as I kept scrolling, look at that. Clearly, they were thinking the same thing as well. Because we've got Jewel of the Jungle Pack 1, which comes with the peacock, the flamingo, and the macaws. They're so good. And then there's also Jewels of the Jungle Pack 2, which is the mandarin duck, the motmot, and a toucan with a kingfisher on its beak. I think that is so cute. I love that one. I think that toucan with the kingfisher might be my favorite of those little minis there. So each one of those is 107 by 106, and pack 1 and pack 2 are each sold separately, of course, and they're $11.50 each. And then we're going to close out Flossabilities with my favorite. I loved their cabin in the woods that they did. And I have that one. I haven't stitched it yet. And that one is also available in the shop. FiestyNeedle.com. Shameless plug. They also have, what's the name of the other one? Shack on the Shore, which is beautiful. I don't have that one yet. And then this one came out, and it's called Chalet in the Snow. And let me tell you, the northern lights that are done on this, I mean, look at that. That is amazing. Beautiful. I mean, I think last winter was probably the most I've ever heard of the northern lights being visible in Minnesota, like this far south. People down in southern Minnesota were able to see it, which is, and I've lived in Minnesota my entire life. I've yet to see them, but I know many people have been able to view them. Usually we'd have to go further up north or something like that if we wanted to see that. So I am really drawn to this one. I even took a screenshot and sent it to a couple of my girlfriends when I saw it, and I'm like, just take my money. It's beautiful. I love it. So that rounds out Flossabilities. Last but not least, certainly not least, for designers that I already have on the website is Twin Peak Primitives. And Twin Peak Primitives always just does such a nice job with all of their stuff that they do. Them twins got their stuff together. They know what they're doing. So the first one here is going to be, sorry, I want to get the document open so I can, there it is. Okay, first one is Winter Rose Sampler. I am not normally a sampler person, but I am so drawn to these colors. I think it's beautiful. Of course, immediately I look at it, I'm like, how do I get away without doing the alphabet? And how would I work the border? But that's just me. Even with the ABCs and all that, it's still lovely. 182 by 189. And that one is $16. Winter Rose Sampler. It's pretty color heavy too. Well, actually, yep, nope, it's pretty color heavy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16 colors. Actually, that's not so bad. 16 colors is not too shabby. The next one we've got is Christmas Drum Set, coming at $18. That one has the drum and then also Santa's face. And I believe there's also information on how to finish that little hat on Santa, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to admit, I didn't read the instructions on that one. Storytime Needle Case is the next. Very Little Women-ish, right? And Storytime Needle Case, the outside is 242 by 108. And then inside is the same, but there's also a bookmark, 40 by 43. And that one is $20. I love the candle. Is it a candelier? If it's not a chandelier, it's got candles in it. Is that right? A candelier? What is the name of that? Anyway, it's pretty. It's so pretty. Next we have, sorry, my computer is really slow. If anybody wants to buy me anything for my birthday, because it was my birthday month, you can buy me a new computer. Oh, can't tell you about that one because that's my favorite. All right, the next one we have is Twin Peaks Santa, surrounded by Easter bunnies. Not really Easter bunnies, but bunnies. 107 by 120. And this one is $13. 20 different colors on that. It's a great color on his jacket. I quite enjoy that. Twin Peaks Santa, $20.25. Next one is The Day Before Christmas, $14. 108 by 144. And how many colors we got on this one? This one's got a lot. Oh, it's only 19. That surprises me. But little town square with everybody ice skating in the church, and somebody's bringing home a Christmas tree. It just tells a story of Christmas. The Day Before Christmas, carolers in there. So much detail, so much beauty. God, can't go wrong with that. And then we have Old Cafe. This one, I had a hard time. This one and the one that I picked were in like, this is definitely my number 2 spot, but I really had a hard time deciding because while I like it on the white, I kept thinking, ooh, like on an orange color fabric or a pumpkin-y fabric or something that's kind of spooky would be great to do. So that's Old Cafe, 121 by 117. There's only one color there, which makes sense. And then, okay, Twin Peaks Primitives. Believe that we got through all of those. I had to take a little pause. Next designer that is in the queue and waiting, Sprouting Lupine. Six new charts from Sprouting Lupine. And sorry, my cat, you can probably hear her. She would really like to go outside. Sprouting Lupine has 6 new charts, and the first is Garden of Shadows, 151 by 194, and $13. She's not happy. Here There Be Dragons, $11, 125 by 98. That's a fun one. Really cool elements. I love the checkered border around that. It's beautiful. I am going to destroy this name. Mycelium? Mycelium? Yeah. Mycelium Metro. $13, 164 by 164. That is beautiful shading. Look at how I don't know if that's supposed to be a shadow behind her of the one in front of her, but I think that's lovely. I enjoy that. The next one is Gothic Birdhouses, and 106 by 52, and that one is $7. Winter Sweater Drums. The patterns remind me of ugly sweaters. Not that the pattern is ugly, please. Just that's what that reminds me of. And those are $8. 104 by 50 on the drums. My favorite of these 6 new releases is Bug Me. I don't usually lean towards spiders like I lean towards some of the other bugs in stitching, but this guy is pretty cute. More of a bell pull. That one is only $6 and only a couple of like 3 or 4 colors, so that's cool. The next one we've got is Manny Di Donna. 8 new patterns coming from her. And oh no, I thought I had it opened up. Here we go. All right, the first one is Boo Farm. What's fun about this is if you don't want that barn to be purple, or you don't want the checkers in the little border there to be purple, just switch it out. Easy fix. That one's going to be $15, and it is 130 by 114. Merry Christmas sampler pillow, $10, 89 by 78. Give thanks sampler pillow, same size, same price. Happy Halloween sampler pillow, same size, same price. That makes it easy, right? And then we've got Home for Christmas pillow. I love the barn stars on here. 86 by 41, and that's $10. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful finish. Home for Thanksgiving, same thing, $10, 85 by 36. Welcome Autumn pillow, $10, 97 by 40. That would make a great smalls exchange. You could, this picture doesn't show it, but there's like little squirrels up in the right-hand corner. They're kind of hard to see, but that's really fun. And then my favorite of all of them is the Halloween garden. That one is 15, and it's 80 by 77. I love all the color variants of those sunflowers. That's really pretty. Next one we have is Quaternion Creations. There's 3 new ones, and I am going to destroy the names. I already know that. If you have not had any experience with Quaternion, very mythical, very Greek mythology, that kind of thing. Very women empowering, which is really cool. I really enjoy that aspect, and there's a lot of story behind her patterns. If you get a chance to dig in on the website, I have a lot of hers, and they really are fun. So here we go. The first one is Isolde, which is inspired by the Celtic legend of Tristan and Isolde. Selkie, mythical beings from Scottish, Irish, and Faroese folklore. And Demeter, D-E-M-E-T-R, Demeter, who is Greek goddess of harvest and fertility and mother of Persephone. I'm terrible at these Greek names. Anyway, these are all ranging in price from $8 to $14, and sizes range from 89 by 143 up to 164 by 228. Old Willow Stitchery has 4 new designs, very sampler driven. First one is Hannah Judge, 1839, and this one is going to be $25. She is a big one, 255 by 300. And this is my needlework to show when I was young, what I could do, and by marking you may see what care my parents took of me. That's very sweet. Hannah Judge. The next one is MBL 1902. This one is $13 and 200 by 155. Wow, that really surprises me. I thought just by looking at it that it was going to be a little bit smaller. And then Anna Hookham, 1824, will also be $13. And this one is 137 by 166. And then my favorite of them all, and I'm not a sampler stitcher. I'm not normally drawn to samplers or anything, but I really enjoy the border on this one. It's Charlotte Sweet 1837, and this one is $29, and it's 235 by 145. And very muted colors. The The bowl in the middle is beautiful. I really like that. All right. Next one is Jet X Stitch. 5 new releases. First one is Ephemeral Sampler. And that one's going to be $12. I don't have a stitch count on this one. It must be on a different sheet. The butterfly counts. The butterfly. Oh, I can't even read it. What does that say? The butterfly counts. Oh, the butterfly counts not months, but moments, and has time enough. I think that's what it says. It's hard to see the letters over on the right side since it's so much lighter. My cat really wants to go outside. She's really having a bad one. Linoleum Rug is the next one. This is funny. $12. I love that big basket of flowers there in the left-hand corner. That's awesome. Next is Green Bungalow. A little fall driven with the pumpkins. $8. Circle, circle, dot, dot. $10. That's fun. It's an upside down ice cream cone on there. And my favorite, Blueberry J, $12. This is so pretty. I am not sure if I particularly care for the dark fabric on this. I really like more contrast. I think it would make that bird stand out so much more, but I love, that is definitely my favorite out of all of the Jet X releases. Next is Steph at Fine Frog Stitching, and we have 6 new releases. And first is Ice Star Cardinal. That one is $8. I think it's lovely. It could go on black. It's obviously looks great on the blue. Lots of options for that. When I was scrolling through this email when it first came through with these new releases, it's probably the one designer that made me giggle the most. I just think they're fun and unexpected, and especially this one, Fruit Hat Senorita. So many fun birds this time. Bright, colorful birds so far on all these releases, instead of just sampler style where they're browns and lighter colors. Feather Tarot, The Fool. It's $11. That's such a good one. I feel like these were out before for something else. So they've been released and now being released to the masses, I think. Don't quote me on that. Feather Tarot, The Lovers. The faces on these owls is amazing. Feather Tarot, The Tower. And then my favorite, Bird Globetrotter. Oh, look who came to say hello. Hi. Hi, Tiger. Do you want to say hello? She's very mad because it's nice out and she wants to go outside. Do you want to come say hello to everybody? So she's mad that I won't put her out. We usually put her out on a leash. So instead she's just standing at the door. But anyway, my favorite of all of them is Bird Globetrotter. $9. I don't know where he's going, but I want to go with him. It's perfect. Next is the Mindful Needle with 5 new releases. First is Christmas Pillows. That is 99 by 58, coming in at $14. The one says Merry and the other says Peace. I love when the letters are done in that old calligraphy style. I think it's really pretty. And this next one is definitely my second most favorite. I did go back and forth between this and what my top pick is for the Mindful Needle. Stitching Friends Are Friends Who Count. and that is 93 by 76 and coming in at $12. And we've got an in the round here, spooky mandala in the round, 75 by 75. And that's a great fabric. What is that stitched on? Let's take a look if that's listed. Witch's Brew Linen from Lap and Loops. That's a great fabric. I don't know if I've seen that before. It's got the greens and the purples. That's beautiful. $12 on that one, 75 by 75. And then Trouble Brewing. Of course, there's always a cat causing trouble. That looks like just a nice, easy, simple stitch. 54 by 70. It does come with those back beads. I guess they're not beads, they're buttons from Willoughby Ann, and it comes with 6 of them. 54 by 70, and that's $14. And then my top out of the Mindful Needle is Meow at the Moon. I love the black work in the moon and the simplicity. I've really leaned towards a lot of cats this round. Now, as I've been sitting here recording, I did receive an email from Puntini, and let me tell you, I scrolled through these, and they're amazing. I can't even express how excited I am about these. I don't even know which one is my favorite because I've barely had time to look at them, but let's start with, she's got some buttons, pin buttons that are out like she normally does. And the first one here is, Dear Santa, the cookies are good. I wanted to be sure. And you can see on the bottom there, one of the cookies is half eaten. That's 51 by 66 and $10. Then we've got Halloween Alphabet Sampler, 88 by 123. And also $12. This is really cute. Save the Earth. It's the only planet with cross stitch. And that is 109 by 77 and $12. And then cross stitch city map. I haven't been able to make that any bigger, so maybe you can read it, but I'm not sure what it says on the lake and all of that stuff, but that's really cute too. 98 by 110, and that's 12. All right, Puntini has been putting out these trios for what, 2 years now? Maybe a year? I don't know, but every one has been great. We're just gonna say the 3 trios that she has released this go round they're just all 3 my favorite. These are amazing. So the first one is, in true fashion with all the tropical birds we've already seen with these releases, is Tropical Birds Trio, 67 by 66, and that's 15. And look at the toucan, and the macaw, and the flamingo. They are crazy good. I can't even. Countryside Animal Trio. Jenny, there's a pig. There's a pig for you. And a goose and a frog. That frog has the best face. And then we've got Fall Animal Trio. So we've got, oh my goodness. We've got a hedgie and a squirrel and an owl. God, those are so good. You know, it's like with each email from each designer that comes through, it's been a little better. And it's like, oh, nobody's going to top that. And then the next one comes and you're like, oh, that's really good too. Nobody's going to top that. And then the next one comes. And so it's really fun to watch all of these roll in. Well, that is 21 designers, roughly, that we've gone over. I will continue over the next couple days as things roll in, maybe do snippets where it's smaller groups and get those put out to everybody. Please feel free to check out the website, fiestyneedle.com, Fiesty needle.com, for any pre-orders. Pre-orders need to be in by between the 18th and the 21st, or the 20th is what I'm really shooting for. Some designers are requesting those to be sooner, and I'll just make accommodations with that. But yeah, if you can get your pre-orders in, we can make sure that we get those charts out to you. Everything will ship in September once everything in your order has been received and can go out. So with that, everyone have a great Fiesty day and stitch what you love.